Good morning. This is Keloland on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Sioux Falls police have released the name of the person killed in a hit and run Friday night on the northwest side of the city.
Police say it was 24-year-old Skylar Yellow Eagle from Mission. He was hit by a white truck when he was trying to get his vehicle out of the ditch near Marion Road and Bentgrass Street. Officers were able to find the truck involved in the crash but haven't located the driver.
Nothing new in that investigation. I just chatted with the investigator, still working on determining, trying to figure out who the driver of the vehicle was, but no arrests at this point, no charges.
If you have any information on the driver or the vehicle, you are asked to call police. A former police officer charged with assaulting a man during an arrest outside of a Sioux Falls bar in 2021 will serve 5 days in jail.
34-year-old Joseph Larson was back in court yesterday and entered a no contest plea. He was sentenced to 60 days in jail with 55 of them suspended. The victim, 53-year-old Samuel Sykes, was able to testify during the hearing.
It was a big loss for me. It's a big loss for the city. It's a big loss for the people. You know what I mean? You should no way, no form should be able to do that type of stuff with a man in handcuffs.
The judge denied a request for a suspended imposition, which would have cleared the crime from Larson's record. We did reach out to Larson's attorney for comment, but have not heard back. If we do, we'll update this story right here on Keloland.com. 3 people were arrested after a traffic stop near Sisseton earlier this month. The Roberts County Sheriff's Office says it happened just before 12:30 p.m. March 11th. A Sisseton-Wahpeton tribal police officer stopped a vehicle and it was turned over to a deputy.
The vehicle was searched and items containing meth, marijuana, and several types of pills, including fentanyl, were found. A 2-year-old child was in the vehicle at the time. Theodore Thode, Devontae Wana, and Craig Wana were arrested. All 3 are facing multiple drug charges and contributing to the abuse, neglect, or delinquency of a child. Investigators in Hamlin County are looking into a crash near Castlewood. The sheriff's office says it happened on I-29 around 3 miles north of town just after 9 o'clock last night. Authorities say the vehicle was going around 80 miles an hour on icy conditions when it went into the median and rolled. The driver was checked out by the Castlewood ambulance and was not taken to the hospital for injuries. Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Scott Munn. Good morning, Scott. It's still chilly out there.
Oh, and it will remain chilly for the day. We are looking at slightly warmer temperatures expected to move through as we do make our way into Friday. And then we'll try to hold on to those warmer temperatures for this coming weekend. So for today, let's expect numbers probably in the 30s. We will watch our snow develop by the afternoon, western South Dakota for the hills, including Rapid City. You know, there's a winter weather advisory in effect, or goes in effect at noon today for parts of western South Dakota. We'll watch our snow chances, I would say, for the southern half of the area this evening and tonight. And Brian will have more details on that coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Scott. This time of year can bring just about any kind of weather. As we celebrate the 70th anniversary of Keloland Media Group, we're looking back at our coverage of notably different spring-like weather we've experienced over the 7 decades.
In the late 70s, tumbleweeds were seen blowing around at the Empire Mall. A large tumbleweed was seen hitting a car. Some were even captured clogging up the entrance to a building. The state's highest court will be in action on the campus of South Dakota State University. Starting this morning, the South Dakota Supreme Court will hear oral arguments for 8 cases. Keloland News will live stream 2 cases today and 2 cases tomorrow.
Lawyers will present arguments on a case that dates back to the 1990s involving actor Kevin Costner, among others. Digital reporter Eric Mayer previews the cases and will live blog the court hearings in a Keloland.com original. South Dakotans will pay less in state sales taxes. Tuesday, Governor Noem signed a bill reducing the tax from 4.5% to 4.2%. It's expected to save South Dakotans $104 million overall.
But the savings are only temporary. The law includes a sunset clause. The governor was originally critical of the sales tax reduction, saying that her plan to remove the state grocery tax would have helped people more. There's another construction project starting soon in Sioux Falls that could impact your commute. On Monday, crews will start on phase 2 of the 41st Street Diverging Diamond interchange. They will focus on the bridge and updates to 41st between Carolyn and Shirley Avenues.
Traffic will be reduced to one lane for both directions. Access to Carolyn Avenue from 41st Street will close permanently. Construction on the entire project isn't expected to be complete until summer of next year. And we have a quick update about Ping the duck, who is trying to become the next Cadbury bunny. Unfortunately, Ping, who lives in Sioux Falls, was not the winner. Instead, Crash the cat from Idaho took home the honor.
We spoke with Ping's owner earlier this month after she was named as a finalist. Ping was found in a taped cardboard box next to a dumpster and taken to the Humane Society. She found her forever home when Terry Jo Olin adopted her last summer. That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, cleaning up news. Snow in the northeast this morning, 4 inches or there close to that level in the Aberdeen area, about 3.8 at Browns Valley, Minnesota, just about 2 inches in Watertown and an inch and a half or so around Clark. And again, we'll be updating some of these numbers as we get them. Otherwise, the next system coming into western South Dakota starting this afternoon. We have a winter weather advisory for Hill City and Custer, 2 to 5 inches of accumulation possible through tomorrow morning. And this system could produce some sloppy coatings of snow in far southern Ketherland. We've got a grouping of counties, northern Nebraska, where 1 to 3 is out for that snow or a little bit of a icy combo here. Obviously, being March, you can't rule that out either. We'll see how much of that translates east towards Sioux Falls. There's a chance we could get a coating of snow late tonight and tomorrow morning. You can see some of that picked up on Futurecast as we go through time. First thing, the hourly numbers today, primarily in the upper 20s and low 30s. I would expect here tonight, though, radar will pick up after or at least through 10 or 11 o'clock. Sioux Falls area, we'll start to see what we get. And keep in mind that area in the Black Hills is still more favored as the moisture tends to congregate a little bit better on that easterly wind. Whatever is flaring up on radar overnight tonight, a lot of that will diminish tomorrow morning. And, you know, in typical March style, too, we can melt snow pretty quickly. Even if somebody gets an inch or two of snow, it doesn't take long and it disappears. In fact, 40s are likely Yankton westward tomorrow. How about Friday? I think Friday opens the door to close to normal temperatures in Sioux Falls. We're within earshot of 50. Mid-50s possible Chamberlain and Winters. So there's some decent numbers. Obviously, the Northeast, it tends to be harder when you have all that snow on the ground. We tend to restrict those bigger warm-ups. But even there, too, some melting will take place. Let's jump into your 7-day forecast. And after we kick off the weekend a little bit better, then we'll kind of slip backwards. We'll see how early next week shapes up. But right now, 30s for highs on Monday. And I would certainly say below normal. Are we seeing any stormy weather? There's a chance of some hits of rain and snow this weekend. We've hit that on Sunday in Sioux Falls. The Aberdeen forecast also Sunday. But at this point, there's enough noise in the modeling that there's not a real good lock-in on how much that's going to amount to and may very well not be a major impact. But we'll keep it in there nevertheless, just to keep an eye on it. Pier forecast, that's your one shot at moisture that we have currently going. We're up to 50 at least Friday. There's some room for that number to grow a little bit, so keep watching for that on day 3. And Rapid City, too. Some chances of rain and snow this weekend. That'll pull back the highs into the 30s, and then we should get back into the 40s early next week. Check out more details with the weather online at KELOLAND.com.